Investables, today I'm going to talk to you about finding investors for your deals or finding investors to collaborate with because they are the source to the finance. So let's talk about it. Deals. They're there for you, for an investor who might come along and purchase, or a deal is there for you yourself to get into where you might want to find an investor who can actually partner with you or even just give you the whole money and you agree some form of return for that investor and then you collaborate in that way. There's so many different ways to collaborate with investors. And the word investment, sometimes it can create this big thing in your head and it makes you feel like you're looking for a needle in a haystack. But you will be so surprised who an investor is, okay? Now, when you think of investor, I'm so curious to know, what do you think of? If you're willing to share, let me know down below of what your thought about an investor is. Because in this video today, I'm going to tell you an investor is a regular person. It is your mother, your dad, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin. These people are investors. As well as that, if they're not yours, then they're somebody else's mother or father or cousin. And when you think about it like that, it makes it so much more realistic, so much more relatable. In essence, that, okay, if these investors are just regular people, then why can't I could just find them in regular places? Yes, you can. I'm hoping that you can actually go out and physically take some action, find investors, and come back to this video and let me know if any of them worked, because I want to hear all about it. So I'm going to show you some of the ways where I have found investors. I still work with investors. I collaborate with investors. When you are in this journey of deal sourcing or developing or in property, you would have had to have got some form of education. You would have had to have gone somewhere, get educated, whether it be online, offline, in a classroom environment, but you would have went somewhere. In that environment, that is the perfect place to start seeking your investors, okay? Maybe you signed up to some kind of mentorship where you meet up once a month, twice a month. You would go there, and in your looking and learning about business, about property, you would then connect with others who are in the same environment, because people who are learning about property sometimes have money behind them. If you're in a learning environment, that's likely that the man next to you is also looking to get into property some way, shape or form, and they might actually have money behind them. So whilst they have money behind them, they might not be ready to go right now because they don't have the information. It's someone who you can nurture over a period of time, build those relationships with, and then collaborate a little bit later on. So in your learning environment, those are the places to look for your investors. It could actually be the teacher themselves, the person who's actually teaching the course, could be looking for a deal or could be looking for some kind of collaboration, someone who's on the ground getting those deals, because that takes a lot of time. Finding and sourcing deals takes time. There's a whole process that you have to go through, and looking at 100 houses costs money, okay? Having 5, 10, 15 closing conversations, that takes time. So people will pay for that. That's why they're coming to you. So you want to find people who may be time poor. Now, people who are educating themselves in a classroom environment, they at least have a foundation about a deal. They know what a deal is. And this is better for you because at least then you know when you're selling on a deal, you're selling on a deal to someone who knows the information and therefore can make a quicker decision. So these are the key things that help you also transact more when you're working with people who know. You want to work with, you know how you've got in a sales funnel, right? You've got cold people who completely know nothing about the product, know nothing about the industry, nothing. And you have to then work really, really hard to convince them that this is the right product for them. Then you've got warm people who know a little something about it. They're kind of interested in it, but still would take a bit of convincing to buy something from you. And then you've got your hot leads. And let me tell you, honey, the hot leads, they know what they want. They come and they say, look, I'm looking for a deal. I want this. And when you have that, let me know. And these are the people who you want. And then not only that, I'm willing to sign any paperwork. I'm happy to pay any deposits, any holding fees, any reservation fees that you want me to pay. I will pay that and I'm ready to go. I will buy a deal that so long it suits my requirements. That's a hot lead. That's what you want. Not a hot lead. I forgot what they call them people, but honey, they hot. They ready. That's who you want. So in the education atmosphere, you will likely find people like that. Not all the time, but you will likely find people like that. So that's one great place where you can go looking. The second place to find investors is online. Okay. Create an online presence so that when you find your investors, they know what you are about. Okay, you can direct them to your social media, you can use social media, and then you already have your online presence. So having your online presence not necessarily is going to find you investors 100%, although it will, because it's very clear, it's written on the tin. It's almost like having a shop front, it's almost like having an agency, right? Agencies, they have a shop front presence, you're going to have an online presence, and your online presence will be talking with people, you'll be doing stuff behind your online presence, which will attract people to you, and therefore they know what you do, and then you can collaborate from there onwards. So having an online presence really does speak a million words, it speaks volumes, and it will be a way for you to present yourself, present your products, present your professionalism, what it is you do, what it is your offer, precisely, neatly, and therefore cut a lot of the lost talk, a lot of the wasted time that can happen when you're getting to know people because you've already put it out there. So create an online presence will definitely help you find investors. The third thing you can do to find investors is network. Get your ass off that couch and go into them places and network, honey. You can network in the groups, in property groups. There's loads of property networking groups, and they are very informal and relaxed. Then you have some more that are a bit more professional, and you have a bit of a higher caliber there too. You can go to these networking events being very clear about why you're there. Even if you're new and you just want to look, okay, at least you're clear about that. You're there, you're new, you want to look, you just want to see what's there. But once you know what you want and you're there to find investors for your deals or to collaborate with, you go there with your purpose in mind, your networking cards in hand, and you go there to meet people who have the same goals and vision as you. Now, networking, there is a little way to do it, okay? You don't just go there blindly and say, okay, I'm going to talk to her because she looks nice. I'm going to talk to her because she looks nice. I'm going to talk to her because she looks nice. Because the people who always look nice, sometimes they looking nice, but they ain't got no money behind them, honey, okay? So what you want to do is go there and be very open-minded. Go there with no high expectations, but just to collect 10 business cards from people who you feel you could get along with quite well. You would never really know that, but, you know, you can go on a basis like that. Because to be honest, going up to someone who you completely don't know to say, hi, my name's Sabrina, I invest in property, what do you do? It is scary. And sometimes just like, you know, there's a fear there. Now, for me, I've never really been shy about walking up to people and having conversations. Possibly it's part of my personality, and part of it is my upbringing. I done moved so many damn schools, and my mum's taken us around to so many countries that we've lived in, and half of them we went to schools in, that it's kind of made me just, y'all are just regular people, let's just talk, you know? So, but sometimes there could be a huge fear around going up to people, and I can relate and understand with that to a certain extent. So, because I remember when I used to have to get on the phone, when I first started my journey in property, I used to have to get on the phone to these people, these investors, whoever they are, call them, talk to them, and say, hi, I need some money. Oh, my hands were wet. I used to sweat. My clothes were wet. I used to be like, oh my God, between calls, oh my God, what am I doing? But my mentor is like, Sabrina, you got to do it. I don't want you to get back on this phone call and you ain't done it. And I'm like, oh God damn, I can't get back on that phone call. And I haven't said I haven't done it, because I hate saying I haven't done stuff. So it was hard. It was, and then, you know, we had to go out and collect business cards. It was hard. And to be honest, my mentees do the same thing. They going out, they're collecting the business cards, and I know it's hard. I understand that, but what happens is that you got to work on them fears. Go to those networking events, right, with your mind sound, and you just pray to your God first, and then you go there with open mind and literally, hi, I'm looking for investment, or I'm looking for investors. I source deals. This is what I do. Is this something you're interested in? If so, let's connect. And if you repeat that same line over and over, not that line, but make it personal to you, repeat that line over and over and over again, honey, you done did more than you did the night before. You know what I'm saying? So it is really good. It's a fantastic place, to be honest, to network with people. I think for me, networking has been the best place for me to find investors, because in that environment, you are with people who are also looking for the same thing you're looking for, which is to invest in property in one way, shape or form. And so it's for you, it's just going through the crowd to find which puzzle is the best fit for you. I was gonna say for your puzzle, but for you. Okay. So, Networking speaks volumes. I think I'll do a little bit more on networking. I have done a few videos on networking already on exactly what to say. If you want to know if you want to watch that video, it's one of my earlier videos, but if you want to watch that video, watch it here. It's very informative and it gives you all the information you need to know. I will do a few more videos on that because I think it's a topic that is very useful and very helpful to know, and because people kind of get stuck at that hurdle. You've got one hurdle of finding a property or finding a deal, but then you've got the other hurdle of finding the money, whether it be you buying it or someone else buying it. Finding that money, these are two big hurdles, but they're not, they're really not. And knowing how really helps alleviate a lot of those fears and anxieties that come with these things. But you're in the right place and you're watching the right video, so keep watching. And the last place I'm going to share with you in this video is collaborations with professionals. Collaborate with other professionals to do your deals so that you guys can work together and therefore present a deal to another investor, or you find your investor. So what do I mean when I say collaborate with other professionals? Well, mortgage brokers, solicitors, financial brokers, independent brokers, real estate brokers. These people liaise with investors on a day-to-day basis. That's all they do, day in, day out, particularly a mortgage broker and an estate agent. They liaise with people day in, day out who are looking for deals, who are purchasing deals, selling deals, or whatever. And you are there looking for an investor. Then it makes sense that you go to these professionals, whether you find them via networking, find them in an education environment, and finding them online. You go to these professionals and you say, look, I am seeking investors. I know you touch base with a lot of investors every day based on your job. Can you just mention that I've connected with a deal source? If this is something you're looking for, I'm happy to connect you both. And they can get a little, they can get a thank you. They can get something, maybe think about something that can be in it for them. Some people don't want anything. If you're in Wales, like me, honey, these people don't want nothing. They will connect you for nothing, honey. Not all the time is about money. And that's one thing I love about being out of London. Not everything's money, money, money. Whereas in London, I felt like, listen, if you ain't paying Paul and paying Peter, you know what I mean? If you're not paying Paul and paying Peter, Peter and Paul ain't interested. Okay? If you gonna give Paul some money or find out how you can give him money, right? Then we can talk. But here, fortunately, it's all about who you know, not what you know, because here's not about that rough come up. Okay, and I like it. That's worked quite well for me. Anyway, because then that means I got to work twice as hard to build relationships. And you got this black girl in this white place trying to build a relationship. Like, who the hell you think you are? But they're actually really nice. So that issue is not as bad as it sounds. Creating an online presence, networking, connecting with people in an education environment, in an educated environment, whether it be the mentorships or any other places, and then also collaborating with professionals to be able to find these investors. There's plenty of other things you can do. Now, all you've got to do, if you just really become down to earth, really be humble and think, okay, an investor is someone who's just got savings. They've got extra cash, they've got savings, they've got a bit of knowledge about property. Where would these people be? And just be open-minded about the question, open-minded about the answer, and then go and do it there. All right. And a lot of it is just taking an actionable step. Finding the information is one thing, taking the actionable steps is another thing. But I've given you the foundation, I've given you the information. Go out there, tackle your fears, go and do what you got to do. And I really hope that you guys win on the other side of this. If you have liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Only 28% of people who are watching these videos are subscribed. There's a whopping 72% of you who are new and visiting this channel for the very first time. But your support helps this channel considerably. I will see you in another video. Until next time, bye bye.